receivers over the top of his defense. Nice play of the drive on second down. Carr fires. Moreau. Touchdown. What a catch.
What's going on, Raider Nation? And welcome. This is your post-game review for Week 7 on the Raider Critique. And man, let me go ahead and go. I know I can't hear y'all, but let's just go ahead and get it one good time. Raiders! Yeah, baby! We actually came out on top, improving our record to 5-2, while the Eagles fall to 2-4. Now, what is there to say about this game? Well, I can tell you this, once they scored 7 points, the Raiders came back and scored 30 unanswered points to basically dominate the whole game. It was a sight to see. If you guys missed the game, man, it's just like it has been for the last 2 weeks. This team plays completely different, and there is absolutely no joke or doubts about it, man. This Raiders team is definitely different. They are definitely built to win. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the stats over here. So Derek Carr went 31 of 34 for 323 yards at a 9.5 average, 2 touchdowns, and 1 ugly interception that he threw in the first half. His QBR was 77.6, and his rating was 113.6. Rushing, we've been having issues, but we actually looked pretty good, and we got it out of a running back that we really haven't seen much out of in Kenyon Drake. He had 14 carries for 69 yards, 4.9 average, 1 touchdown. His long was 12. Josh Jacobs had 6 carries, 29 yards, an average of 4.8. A touchdown as well, and his long was 9. Jalen Richard 4 for 8, 2.0 average on, and his long was 5. Henry Ruggs 1 for 7. Marcus Mariota, who made an appearance, 1 for 4. Alec Ingold 1 for 1, and Derek Carr 2 for 1. Receiving, now Darren Waller was not in the game. He hurt himself during practice earlier in the week. He had to sit out, so Foster Moreau came in to fulfill the starting duties at tight end. He was our leading receiver. He had 6 receptions, 60 yards at a 10.0 average, 1 touchdown. His longest was 21. He was targeted 6 times, so we went 6 for 6. Just like that opening clip, that was one of the ones that he caught, obviously. Hunter Renfrow, 7 receptions, 58 yards, 8.3 average. No touchdowns for him today. His longest was 16, and it was on 8 targets. Brian Edwards, 3 receptions, 43 yards, 14.3 average. He had a touchdown. Longest catch was 24 yards. He was targeted 4 times. Zay Jones, 1 bomb for 43 yards. He was targeted only once, and that was a crucial 3rd down play catch that he made, man. And I don't even think that the Eagles were expecting Derek Carr to go down the field to Zay Jones. I know I damn sure wasn't. Josh Jacobs, 3 for 39 at a 13 yards average. His longest reception was 20 yards, and he was targeted 3 times. Alec Ingold, 1 for 29. Henry Ruggs, 4 for 24 at a 6-yard average. His longest catch was 10. He was targeted 4 times. Jalen Richard, 3 for 17 yards at a 5.7 yards per average. His longest was 9 yards. He was targeted 4 times. The one target that he did not make the completion on, it was thrown behind him. It bounced off his hands and into the defender's hands for the interception that Derek Carr threw. Kenyon Drake, 3 receptions for 10 yards, 3.3 average. His longest was 7 yards, and he was targeted 3 times. Now, Corey Littleton recovered a fumble. Jonathan Abram recovered a fumble. And then we go down here to defense. Now, the top 2 names are names that we've been talking about for weeks. Denzel Perryman, number 2, we've been talking about all season long, but we just got Brandon Faison, and Brandon Faison is doing a solid job. He had 9 total tackles, 8 of those were solos, and 3 pass deflections. Denzel Perryman, 8 total tackles, I think that says 6 of those were solo, and 1 of those was for a loss. Jonathan Abram, 6 total tackles, 4 of those were solo. He also had a pass deflection. Corey Littleton, 6 tackles total, 2 of those were solo. He also had a pass deflection. Dalen Levitt, now a lot of us give Dalen Levitt a bunch of crap. I think Raider Nation, we need to lighten up on that guy, man. That dude was out there, he was playing focused. And he looked like a completely different player as well. He had 5 total tackles and 3 of those were solo. Yannick Ngakoue, 4 total tackles, 2 of those were solos. Both of those were sacks. They were also for losses. He also had 2 pass deflections, and he got to light up the quarterback twice on those 2 sacks. Jonathan Hankins, 4 total tackles, 1 of those were solo. Nick Kwiatkowski, 3 total tackles, 2 of those were solos. Quentin Jefferson, 3-1. Solomon Thomas, 3-1. Trayvon Mulrig, 3-1. Casey Hayward Jr., 2-2. Max Crosby, 2-2 with a quarterback hit. Carl Nassib, 1-1. Alec Ingold, 1-1. Nate Hobbs, 1-1. Brian Edwards, 1-0. Alex Leatherwood, 1-0. Now, we didn't have any interceptions, and we also didn't have any kick returns. We did have a punt return, though, from Hunter Renfrow, 1 time for 15 yards. And then Daniel Carlson, even though I didn't put it on the form that's right there in front of you guys, Daniel Carlson went 2 for 2 in field goals. His longest was 39, but he was 3 for 4 on extra points. A.J. Cole, man. A.J. Cole keeps coming through week after week after week every time his number is called upon. He had 2 punts for 94 yards, 47 yards average. 1 of those was inside the 20, and his longest was 59 yards. Man, it's great to know that guy is there punting the ball for us. I didn't think we were ever going to get a decent punter after we picked up Townsend. Man, Townsend was trash, man. A.J. Cole is like a breath of fresh air. He truly is. Now, if you go and look at the Eagles stats, I mean, I can go over them for you a little bit here. Jalen Hurts wasn't all that great. Their starting quarterback went 18 of 34 for 236 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. His rating was a 94.7. He was also the leading rusher at 13 carries for 61 yards, 4.7 yard average. His longest rush was 16 yards. Miles Sanders, who went out early in the game, had 6 carries for 30 yards at a 5.0 average, with his longest rush being 9 yards. Now, they're still eating us up down the middle. And if anybody looks at these stats, they'll know where to attack the Raiders. Dude, their tight end, Dallas Goedert, 3 receptions for 70 yards, 23.3 yard average, with his longest reception being 25 yards. He was targeted 5 times. Devonta Smith was 5 receptions for 61 yards at a 12.2 average. He was targeted 9 times. And then Kenneth Gainwell was 4 receptions for 41 yards, who was targeted 8 times. His longest was 15 yards. I mean, you really look at, they had to throw the ball on us, and when they did throw the ball, when they were actually able to have time to throw the ball, they did make the most of what they could actually do. Because let's just be honest, man, our defensive line was on them like stink on shit. No joke. We were on top of them, dude. It was great. Every time they hiked the ball, they were literally on their heels. Jalen Hurts was completely uncomfortable back there, and that's exactly what we need, Raider Nation. That is a good sight to see. To hear all of those Philly fans who showed up in Vegas and how loud they were during that opening drive when they went down the field and scored, man, they shut up real quick. The Raiders came out with 30 unanswered points. It was beautiful. Beautiful. To the point to where this game should, the score was 33-22, but literally they got 10 points at garbage time. I mean, that's basically what it was. The defense was taking a breather. And they needed to take a breather after the 4 takeaways they had. Now, we're going to get into game balls. I've been doing the game ball thing. We're going to go with game ball number 1. And a lot of people are going to be like, man, you always seem to give it to this guy. No, I didn't give it to that guy. I gave it to Yannick Ngakoue because your boy Q, which I no joke, I'm guilty. I'm an avid listener. Listen every day. He wanted to give the game ball to the whole defensive line. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but we have been waiting for Yannick Ngakoue to show up and give us some sacks, to give us that pressure that we were missing when we drafted Cleve Farrell in the first round, hoping that we were going to get an edge rusher out of him. Luckily, we got one in Max Crosby in round 4. So, honestly, man, I'm just, I'm glad to have this guy on the team. He really complements Max Crosby on the other end, and it keeps that offensive line of the opponent honest. Well, dude, he came in and he just wrecked shop. 2 sacks. Came in, had a pass deflection. The guy did absolutely wonderful, so he is definitely getting my game ball, my first game ball, because, hey, we're happy he showed up. I know I'm happy he showed up, and I don't think we could have won this game without him. Now, here's where you guys and gals and Raider, just basically all of y'all get on me, because you already know I'm giving one to Derek Carr. With all the crap he's had to go through and the adversity that he's had to overcome, he has taken this team, put them on his shoulders, and he is riding this momentum into the sunset, hopefully straight into the playoffs. And he went 31 of 34 for 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 113 quarterback rating. This is the second week Derek Carr showed up. Now, besides that interception he threw, which is absolutely debatable on whether it was his or Rashard's fault, it was thrown behind Rashard. I've looked at the play at least 6 times. Derek needed to throw it just a little bit farther outside. Now, maybe he was worried about the defensive lineman jumping up and swatting it down, or, God forbid, picking the ball off. He threw it where the defensive lineman could not hit it, and it happened to be behind Rashard. So, luck of the draw, he threw that interception, but he showed that he could come back and learn from his mistakes, and he came back, and he only missed 2 more passes after that, putting up 323 total yards. So Derek Carr is definitely getting a game ball this week. Third game ball has got to go to the whole offensive line because they did not allow a single sack. That's unheard of from this line. I was talking 3 weeks ago about how we had the worst offensive line in football. And these guys now that we've moved Leatherwood to the inside and brought Parker in, this offensive line looks better. And we haven't even had Richie Incognito come back yet. So, and I believe even Simpson just got hurt. So, I'm hoping he can come back and play, but if not, it's going to probably be Elmore who's going to go over there. So we'll see how that offensive line works up. But as for this week against the Eagles, not allowing a single sack, yeah, they definitely got to get a game ball too, man. Put it in their room. The offensive line did absolutely wonderful. So Q did get it right, man. It was the right positions that he called. I couldn't call it any differently for the simple fact that's what I saw in the game. I think that was the factor of the game. And that's the reason why we dominated in such great fashion. So here we are with the standings of the AFC West. We are sitting on top, baby. 5-2 with the Chargers behind us at 4-2. And I don't know if they've taken another L since then. I pulled this offline a couple days ago. The Chiefs are 3-4. And then the Broncos are also 3-4. So, a team like the Broncos, who started off hot 3-0, have lost their last 4 straight, ending themselves at the bottom of the division with the Chiefs. They're basically on the coattails of the Chiefs for last place. So, it looks like as long as we can keep this momentum up, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. This team is firing on all cylinders right now, and it looks great. It feels great. It definitely feels different than the last 3 or 4 seasons. It actually feels like that we can do something. This feels a little bit more like 2016 than I think anybody wants to give it credit for. That is for sure. News came out today that Willie Snead asked for his release, so the Raiders released Willie Snead. Now, I wanted to look at his salary. I wanted to look and see what he was actually owed, because for him to want to, it's not like he's really hurting the team by leaving, because as we didn't use him. And for a good player like him, and yes, I am saying, even though he did not perform well for us, I think he had a couple catches. I know he had one crucial drop when he was thrown to the very first time in the regular season. But, he's an excellent wide receiver. The guy definitely deserves to be being utilized. And since we're not utilizing him, I can't say I blame the guy. I would want out too. I'm sure that he did not want to be traded to a team that wasn't going to use him, or to be picked up by a team that wasn't going to use him when he got away from the Ravens. So it is what it is, man. I wish him luck in his future endeavors. I hope he finds a perfect fit for some organization and football team out there, and he does a good job, as long as he doesn't come to the AFC West. So, Willie Snead, once a Raider, always a Raider. I really wish it would have worked out, but it didn't. So, here's your release. Now, this is what Google came up with on what his contract details are. Now, I also went a little bit more in depth. I went and looked at a few more things. When it came to that, I went and looked at Over the Cap. You can go ahead and take a look at Over the Cap if you like. That's what I'm bringing up right now. Now, Over the Cap says that in 2021, the salary cap charge was $987,500. That is 0.52% of the cap. 2021 cash out payout is $1,127,500. That is 0.62% of spending. 2021 cash to cap ratio is 1.14. Contract value is worth $1,127,500. Fully guaranteed money, that's the one that we're actually looking for, is $987,500. His contract ranking is 113th out of 318 wide receivers in the league. So when you look at that, we're basically, I think we're only going to have to pay him $987,500. Now that might hurt the cap a little bit, but it's not going to hurt it enough. Let's just hope that nobody gets hurt, and that nobody gets hurt, because I don't think we can afford to get anybody else. I think we've only got about $2 to $3 million left in cap room. So that doesn't leave very much wiggle room, Raider Nation, to be picking up anybody else. So anybody you guys, like how you're hearing about Ingram hitting the market, look, we can't afford him. We can't afford him. We don't have the cap space. We don't have the cap space at all. And we're going to take a hit on this guy because we got rid of him early. So we're going to take a cap hit for next year on that. We're going to have to take that L, Raider Nation, even though we've been sitting over here leading the division, baby. We're 5-2. We haven't taken an L in 2 weeks. And we've got the New York Giants up next after the bye week. So we've got plenty of time to have the team rest up for all the rest of Raider Nation to rejoice and be happy. And we're not going to hear so much negative Derek Carr talk on Twitter for at least the next week. We're sitting pretty at 5-2. Now, hopefully we can keep going. We can keep pushing forward, that we don't lose the momentum. I'm really wondering if having the bye week here now is a really good idea, because we were basically running on momentum. With Gruden getting fired, man, it lit a fire underneath this team's ass, and I hope they keep that fire. I hope they keep that fire. We are leading the division, Raider Nation. We are number 1 in the AFC West, and we are number 2 in the AFC. That is something to be happy about. There's a lot of people out here being angry and being pissed off about how the Raiders won. Man, don't be pissed off about how the Raiders won. Just be happy that the damn Raiders won. Why would you want to be angry about it? There's no point to be angry about it, man. We're winning. The offensive line is blocking. The defense is a top 20 defense, and the offense is on fire. Derek Carr is the number 2 overall rated quarterback in the league. Tearing it up. The only person above him right now in passing yards is Tom Brady, and it's not by very much. Derek Carr is out here killing it, making sure that all of the haters are shutting their mouths, which is exactly what he needed to do, especially after that showing when Joey Bosa sat there and ran his mouth saying, oh, when he gets rattled, he gets rattled if you put the pressure on him. Yeah, well, now look, Joey Bosa, we're at the top of the division and we get to meet you one more time, but we probably won't see you there, Mr. Injured Reserve. Week 18 is a long way away. Do you think you can stay healthy enough to make it there? It feels good, Raider Nation, to be up on top, man. And we're doing it. This team is definitely doing it. Definitely. It's our time now. We've got the Giants coming up. And then I believe after the Giants, it's the Queeps. And we got to sweep the Queeps. I mean, we literally got to hammer the Queeps. Their defense is absolutely terrible. We need to throw up so many points that they can't even catch up. And then just kill the Kermit. We got the Bengals. We need to beat the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? We got the Washington football team. We got to beat them. Our schedule does not look that hard. I don't think that it will all be wins, but they should majority be wins. No doubt in my mind, Raider Nation, that we should be at least 3 more wins until Thanksgiving when we meet the Cowboys, the game that I'm going to be at. I don't know if we're going to win against those Cowboys. We'll see. I hope so. Everybody at work's running their mouth to me about how we're going to get stopped by the Cowboys. Cowboys are real good this year. But I believe in this team, man. I think this team can beat the Cowboys. I think we can beat the Cowboys on their best day. This team right here, I can get behind. And I am. I'm behind this, man. I am on the ship. I am ready to go. Let's go to the playoffs, baby. Playoffs or bust. And we need to bust our ass to get there. That's what it's all about. But this team is a lot different. This team is really good. They gel together really well. Bisacci's doing an excellent job at coaching. The coordinators who are finally able to do their jobs, Greg Olson, are doing a spectacular job at play calling. We're making the right personnel moves, which in turn, we need to thank John Gruden for that because he did build this team. This team has got chemistry, and that's dangerous. You can have a bunch of mediocre players, but if they've got chemistry and they can play well together, that's a hard team to beat. Now, I'm not saying that's what we are. We're definitely not a team full of stars, but we're a team full of talent. And that talent has got chemistry all together, which makes us 10 times more fierce. This team can definitely go places. If we can stay healthy, we got Richie Incognito coming back. We've already got Mariota back. We can start running those crazy packages that I thought we were going to start running, which is why I thought we got Marcus Mariota at quarterback. No, we spent quite a bit of money. I mean, he makes quite a bit of money for a backup quarterback. I think he needs to come in and see more action than one run for 4 yards or one run for 35 yards. He's seen 2 plays, but it is 2 more plays than what he saw last season before the Derek Carr injury. So, Raider Nation, I want everybody to enjoy the bye week. And, you know, we're getting ready to hit Halloween this weekend. And I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe holiday. You know, let's enjoy these times. This is going to be, since 2016, the first time that any of us podcasters and YouTubers got to report on a winning season. Let's just hope that we keep this up. Now, next video I drop will more than likely be another of the John Gruden email chronicles. It'll be volume 2. I will let everybody know who the guest will be. I hope you guys enjoy that segment. I actually enjoy doing that segment. It helps me figure out the technology that I have. And the last one that I did, I actually forgot to hit a certain button. So my voice was in the background, but the caller was nice and clear, which was MC Square. And, you know, I mean, that's what it's all about, because it is all about you, nation. It's about how you feel. This doesn't have anything to do with me. I see a lot of platforms out there. I see a lot of people coming out there and going on other people's shows. You know, everybody is able to voice their opinion, and that's what I want. I want everybody to be able to voice their opinion, especially on this segment. And don't hold back. You know, I'm going to be coming. I want to do at least 10 episodes of this, because I know that as the longer we drag this out, the more that's going to come out. I've already been reading articles about everything, man. This smells and stinks. It stinks so bad. The reason why they don't want to drop the other emails, this looks like a legitimate hit. I can tell you this, I do have confirmation for one guest, and that's Raider Watts. Now, that's more than likely going to be after Thanksgiving. Unless something falls through, then I'll go ahead and give him a call earlier than specified. So anyway, Raider Nation, this has been your post-game review on the Raider Critique for Week 7 against the Eagles. Until next time, enjoy the bye week. Enjoy everything. Enjoy this winning season. Love on your families, man. Spend as much time with them as possible, especially during this time of year. The weather's starting to change. It's starting to get nice. At least down here in Texas it is. We're actually able to start walking around without sweating like crazy. Get out there and enjoy your family time, man. And, I'm going to definitely be doing that this week. And, until next time, everybody, it's Raider Nation for life.